You know, there is nothing wrong with loving the big names in professional wrestling. The Cody Rhodes, the Roman Reigns, John Cena, CM Punk, The Rock, they all make sense. Everyone loves them. But for Johnny, that's not exactly Johnny's cup of tea. Mainly because Johnny doesn't drink tea. I'm a 28-year-old who still drinks Kool-Aid. And no, Mom, I won't grow up. But for me, I love a lot of the smaller wrestlers in WWE and AEW, and I love to see that come up. It feels so rewarding. Cody Rhodes wasn't always this Cody Rhodes, and actually, I preferred like dashing and undashing Cody Rhodes personally. And I'm not trying to give some hipster take on you can't like wrestlers that are popular. Look, my favorite wrestler of all time is Jeff Hardy, then it goes Matt Hardy and Sting. Pretty popular guys. Matt, probably not as much as Jeff and Sting, but you get it. But I love the idea of buying low on wrestlers. If these wrestlers were stocks, who would you buy low on, believing that they're going to have an awesome 2025? So I asked that exact question over on Twitter, and I'm going to talk about some of the responses and see if I would actually buy low on these wrestlers. So the first one here is from Shoosh Movement, who says, Chad Gable. Now, it's kind of hard to say that Chad Gable is a buy low wrestler, but I kind of get it right now. Chad Gable's stock was soaring through the roof going into WrestleMania. Obviously, he didn't have that WrestleMania match with Gunther that we all thought he was going to have. Then he gets into an awesome program with Sami Zayn. He doesn't win that. He has this Alpha Academy program. Nothing much happens with that. And now I think that he is pretty low on his stock at the moment. So absolutely, I would buy low on Chad Gable, but I actually would with some caution. I am really worried that Triple H just doesn't see what the rest of the fans see in Chad Gable, that he can be this multi-time IC champion. And I really hope that Chad Gable's 2025 is going where we thought his 2024 was going to go to. I love the next pick, Cedric Alexander. I love what he's doing in NXT. I love Cedric, but I don't know if I could buy low on him. I would love to, but I just don't know if WWE has ever really seen a ton in Cedric Alexander, which is sad because I love him. My favorite wrestler currently is Mustafa Ali, and they've had an insane amount of bangers. So I would love to see Cedric get pushed, but I don't think 2025 that they're going to see Cedric the way that I may see him or the way TJ here may see him. I love this one here. It says, Kairi Sane is a sleeping monster on the main roster. She has the potential to absolutely catch fire as a singles babyface underdog. Absolutely agree. Now, this is coming out before the women's IC tournament that Kairi is going to be in, but I would love to see her with that championship at some point. I don't think that she's going to win the tournament. In fact, unfortunately, I think that she's probably going to be taken out in the first round with Natalya, but I really hope that Kairi down the line in 2025 is either tag team champion or IC champion. I think that Kairi Sane is probably one of the most, if not the most underrated wrestler on the roster right now. One of the top ones I saw was Ludwig Kaiser, and I totally agree. Right now is the time to buy on Ludwig Kaiser because I think that 2025 IC champion, I think that we're going to see a breakaway from Gunther. I think Ludwig is going to stay heel. Gunther's probably going to go towards more of a babyface. And yeah, I think Kaiser is probably going to have some awesome programs with Sheamus, as he already is, Braun Breaker. He just seems like such a cocky, arrogant, Draco Malfoy-esque villain that I'm really excited to see what he can do because I think that his character work is awesome and he's still a super solid in-ring worker. The hardest one for me to gauge is one that quite a few people said, Dante Martin. I love Dante. I did over on TikTok a couple years ago, I did Johnny's Next Top Wrestler, where I was basically kind of doing this concept and going through each week and picking these wrestlers that were in this tournament, kind of like America's Next Top Model, and picking who is like my favorites. And it ended up being like Garcia and Dom, but at the time, the favorite was Dante. Obviously, Dante ends up snapping his ankle at Supercard of Honor. Unfortunately, that was horrible. Luckily, he's able to make a comeback, but I just don't know. I just don't know if he has the promos or if maybe even AEW is the right place for him at the moment. But I don't know. I think that this is maybe I've been buying low every single year. I think that this may be the year where I'm a little hesitant to buy low. Another super popular one on here, Anna Jay. And this one, I wonder if it's even buy low at the moment because Anna Jay seems like she is set up for success in 2025. I think this is kind of like one of the obvious more buy lows because she's going to be a lot higher in 2025 than she is right now, but I could see her being TBS champion relatively soon. I could see her take the title off Mercedes, to be honest. I love this one. Lee Moriarty, absolutely. This is like a perfect buy low candidate. Lee Moriarty, currently ROH Pure Champion. And I mean, I think that he could be one of the staples of Collision. I do do think that they should do a brand split. I'll come out with a video in a little bit talking about that. But I would love him to either be the face of ROH, like going for the ROH World Championship and becoming the face and becoming that brand, or he becomes one of the mainstays of Collision. I think that 2025 is going to be a big year for Lee. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. Now, I see some people saying like Ricky Starks or Daniel Garcia. These are not guys that I would consider like buy low candidates personally. Daniel Garcia is TNT champion. He's the future of AEW. And Ricky Starks isn't necessarily buy low. I don't think his stock is low. I think it's just frozen at the moment because AEW won't do anything with him. I see a lot of people saying Lyra, and I like that. I think that Lyra honestly could win the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I've just said this forever. I think that there just needs to be a different character for Lyra. She can't be a bird the entire time. She has everything except for the character. And I think that you can probably put elements of that in, just as like Becky had elements of like this steampunk character, but that didn't become who Becky Lynch is. It's just like steampunk girl. I also think if you turn Lyra heel, her against Becky, I think that'd be really, really good. This one here says, she was seen on Friday but needs more TV time. Blair Davenport. I wish I could say yes to this, but I don't think the WWE sees much in Blair Davenport, unfortunately. She was a great NXT UK wrestler. She's world traveled. She's well known in the wrestling world, but I don't think the WWE sees her as much as just kind of talent enhancement, which is unfortunate. But I don't think that they see a bunch for her. And I think that she's probably one of those wrestlers that would probably be better used in a different company, unfortunately. All right, a lot of y'all said Karrion Kross, and I'm right there with you. I see the vision. Kross, I think, is a great promo. He's got a great character. I love this whole theory that he is influencing. He may lose the feuds, but what he is trying to do to manipulate somebody and make them turn or do something evil, like maybe the New Day. I love that that's a theory, and I think that they could honestly propel Kross to like a main event guy, maybe not like winning the world title against, you know, a Cody Rhodes or a Gunther or a Punk or something, but he could be a backlash feud for that. I wouldn't be too surprised about that. He literally could be at the bottom or the top of the card pretty easily. Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron is the type of pick I'm talking about. Buying low on Harley Cameron right now. Harley Cameron is awesome. She is making, whether she's on Dynamite, Collision, whatever she does, Rampage, she is making it. The reason to watch is because of Harley Cameron. She is so entertaining. I absolutely love her. Hopefully, I don't even think that you need to like put a title on her. I was really hoping that AEW did like a women's C2 and Harley Cameron took like all of the pins, but just she got a little bit more serious towards the end, being like, damn. Yeah, I really wasn't good enough to win one match. So maybe they have some kind of story of Harley Cameron. I think eventually probably is going to turn babyface because the fans just love her so much. Personally, I love the Tavion Heights shout. Tavion Heights is one of my favorite wrestlers in NXT. He is like my buy low candidate. I think that this dude is going to have a massive 2025. He is going to be huge. Queen Aminata, another perfect candidate. I love Queen Aminata. I really hope that we see her do more stuff with Mercedes, as they kind of teased that a little bit, but didn't do a ton with. I think that she has all the makings to be one of the best baby faces in AEW's women's division. That definitely needs a ton of depth in their characters. Like, nothing on the women. I think that's AEW only having like one women's match. Like when Queen Aminata is on the show and you're deciding to do, you know, these Jericho segments and stuff, or, you know, who I don't want to rip on a bunch of people, but like you could be given a lot more TV time to somebody like Queen Aminata. AOP is just one that I can't really get behind. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't see it personally. I know they're really big, but I would agree with the House of Black shout. I think that they're going to have a huge year. I personally believe that House of Black is going to end up teaming up with Darby Allin to help take down the Death Riders. So I think the House of Black are going to have like a pretty massive year. I could see a Trios Championship in their hands. I could see Julia once again either getting the TBS Championship back or becoming the women's champion. I see Brody King doing a lot of stuff with Darby this year. I think that the House of Black is going to have like a massive year. I think Buddy Matthews is going to have a super cool match for the Australia show. Maybe that is where they win the Trios Championship. Yeah, I expect a huge year from the House of Black. I like the Sonya shout. I really do like Sonya. I think that she's a really good character. I think that you got to do something with this Pure Fusion Collective because it's not working. But I do it's sad to say because I think that Shayna is great, but like I could see Sonya being like, you guys as clients aren't working for me. I'm going to go over and I don't know, maybe reunite back with Chelsea Green or do something different. But I think that as a character, she's great. I loved her as the GM as well. And my number one pick to buy low on is Ty Mello. Ty Mello is going to be huge in 2025. That return, I'm so excited for. I'm doing a whole video on it. I am so excited for the Ty Mello return. I think that she could be a massive star, whether it's babyface or heel. I think that she can transition to both of those really, really easily. I've written articles about it. I think that Ty just kind of has everything. She's got a dope moveset. When I was reviewing, I was writing for a website, reviewing AEW Dark and trying to do just like, people on the come up and most improved, all of that. I think it was 2021, maybe 2022. And I watched every AEW Dark match, and I kept just going back to Ty Mello, and I was like, God, she's just dope. The DD Ty, that hammerlock DDT is great. She's got a unique moveset that's hard hitting. I'd love to see her against girls in Stardom as well. Ty Mello on an excursion. I doubt that can happen right now, as she's just had a child. Shout out to Sammy and Ty and Luna. But I'm super excited for her return. I think that could be one of AEW's next for the future. I like the Nick Wayne shout. I think Nick Wayne is great. I low-key would love if he was like one of the main guys of ROH. I think ROH needs a makeover. And I think that if they kind of transition back to like going towards, I guess, like, I want to say kind of more towards like a PWG style, or just being like a really, really big, like not independent company, but like doing more of what kind of brought them to the dance, what made ROH big, not just technical wrestling, but just kind of having, the biggest names on the indies mixed with some of these AEW guys like a Lee Moriarty and Nick Wayne, maybe Hook in there, I think could do wonders for ROH. And also, honestly, if you did like Lee Moriarty, Hook, Nick Wayne, a couple other of those young guys, Dante Martin, and kind of made it feel a little bit more like NXT, but NXT with a priority on like the in-ring work and trying to get some of the best wrestlers on the indies to work a lot of these ROH dates. I think that could be a really cool scene for ROH. So hopefully Nick Wayne does something like that in 2025. Or he just has an awesome feud with Christian. But that is it. You guys let me know in the comments who's a wrestler that you are buying low on. And that one day you are going to be proven right, because you know that they have everything. For me, it was always Mustafa Ali. I still believe that. One of the best wrestlers in the entire world. You guys are going to learn real quick that I'm going to glaze some, what people would probably say, like random wrestlers. This channel will have a lot of Mustafa Ali glaze on it. That sounds crazy. Yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. You guys let me know who you guys are buying low on going into the next year, and I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces, lads.